Hi everybody, Bart the Nature Guy here. I'm here with another nature invitation. I'm in a city park right now. I just stepped off. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm completely surrounded right now by woods. But it was only 25 steps. I don't know. Maybe you can see the opening back over here. See that tarp? One of the things I'll be doing with you all this week is a little tarp tutorial. And so, but just 25 feet off the the mowed grass area, I'm completely surrounded by kind of uncultivated nature. It's kind of a sumac grove. The sumac kind of are some of the last leaves to come out of the trees. And so at the very tops, you can probably see some of the sumac right. If I can use my finger right there, you can see the sumac leaves coming out right now. But down below, still very much, they almost look dead, but they're not. They're just taking their time. And today, sorry, I itched my nose here. But today we're going to do a nature invitation around something that needs to tell you a story. And like, how did it get here? And how did it end up in the way that it is? But as always, I always start with the power of presence and looking at our senses and making sure we kind of drop in to the present moment and see if we can kind of find that space for ourselves before we do the activity. First off, if you all could take that time to kind of look around a little bit and see kind of first off what you're noticing. I'm here at Carver Park out in the Western Metro. There's been bike trails all the way up in here. There's probably 50 to 100 people behind me, but I'm still in nature. And so maybe taking a look, observing what brought you to the place that you're at. Maybe it's a walk that you take and you go find a place and you restart this video when you find that place or that location. But I'm going to turn the camera on like I normally do so you all can just kind of get a taste of what's around me right now. And you don't have to look at my face the whole time. Using your eyes, see what do you notice? And you might not even have access to being outside right now. So I try to provide that to you by flipping the camera around. All right. You can see the shadow on my forehead right now. Another thing that one of the senses that we have is the sense of touch and feel. And so I invite you right now to maybe kind of play with that sense of touch in regards to from kind of shadow. You can see my arm; it's covered in shadows and in direct sunlight. And so kind of see how does that feel as you move your hand, maybe in and out of the shadow. Another thing you can do is kind of feel how that breeze kind of moves across your skin or across your face or across your head. And so I'll give you a couple minutes just to kind of partake of the sense of touch in the nature around you. I'm going to reach out and kind of feel this bark right here of the sumac tree, all split apart. Not looking well, but at the top, a vibrant tree. And as the summer goes on, it will continue to grow. Now, if we can do the sense of smell, a lot of times we think about it in regards to like cooking or maybe like a home. I always remember like walking into my grandmother's house, and the smell definitely brings back memories. For some people, memories can be really good. Sometimes it's bad. But nature definitely has smells that a lot of times we don't pay attention to. So I really just invite you right now to take a few moments to kind of be with that sense of smell, and also joining in the other senses. You still might hear people in the background, a car door slam, birds chirping, squirrels messing around. Deep breaths in and out of the nose. And now with the sense of taste. If you notice, I kind of keep my mouth just slightly open and I draw the air in over my tongue, exhaling through my nose or mouth, whatever you choose. I'll do it one more time just so you can kind of see what that's like, but it's a just providing yourself the sense of taste of what's around you. Again, not a sense we think about in nature a lot. And then the last one is a sense of hearing. There's lots going on around me today. Maybe you have lots going on around you, and if we really just shut down a lot of our other senses or just engage all senses as you close your eyes, oftentimes that sense of even touch or smell or now sounds kind of come alive, because our sense of sight is what kind of gets us through the world most of the day. So when we shut off our primary sense that we use to negotiate safety and just transportation, getting ourselves from one place to another. So using our ears to hear what's around. All right. And the last one I'm going to introduce is a little bit different. I think I did it on my first video with you all. Is that just kind of getting in touch with that sixth sense that we carry inside of us. And so I just going to ask you, if you do feel comfortable closing your eyes, to just kind of find a spot to just kind of close your eyes and spin in place. And just give yourself the ability, when it feels right, for whatever reason, just to stop and open your eyes and see what you see. Maybe a new angle, maybe a new perspective. And if we're ever feeling stuck, I really invite you to do that for yourself, and not just physically, but just as you're thinking about things and you might feel stuck in a situation, to kind of give yourself that spin around and say, I need to maybe look at this in a different way. Maybe I need to open my eyes slowly and see things in a different way than I haven't seen before. So these things go way beyond just being in nature. As we're moving towards this invitation, and I don't spend a lot of time on the invitation, I want you just to enjoy it for yourself, but I do want this to be like a 15-minute invitation. So if you're able to set a timer, it really can take your mind off of thinking about like, how much time do I have left. You just know the timer is going to happen, and then you can just be with the space. It can really be helpful for people, and it seems weird sometimes to use technology as a tool in nature, but it can really be a help to let yourself just be in that moment and not really have to worry about how much time do I have left. So, and just putting that phone in your pocket, wait for that timer to go, and at that point you can kind of re-engage the rest of your day. So this invitation is called What's My Story? And what my story is, there's things that we see in nature that just really don't have any explanation. Right before this, I was walking through, and I out of a tree, there was a little like strand of spider web, and on it held this kind of actually big clump of leaves. Unfortunately, the wind blew it down before I got a chance to show it to you, but it was really cool. And I was sitting there going, and this is what kind of prompted the invitation today. It's like, how did that get there? Like, it's just sitting there floating. Like, what is that? Where does that come? Like, how does that happen? Where this little thread is coming out of a tree for a spider, and then this big clump of like seeds off another tree somehow ended up at the very end of that web, and it's been hanging out here the whole time I was having lunch. And of course, right before I do the video, it all falls apart. So now I'm sitting in the woods, but that's all good. There's plenty of story out in nature, and so this invitation is just for you to find a story. It could be simple as a broken branch and kind of wondering, well, why did that branch break? How did it break? What caused that breakage? And finding yourself being enveloped into the story of why things happen the way they do. The example I saw when I came to the space, and I gave myself a couple seconds with that invitation before the video. You notice I'm in a sumac grove, and it's all deciduous trees for the most part. There's hardly any conifers, which are like pine trees, around. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting here, and this one comes up. It's a little cedar tree. And not only is it a cedar tree, it's like, I don't know if you can see it, it's like cut in half. Like there's nothing there. There's no top on it. There's no like normal like finish to the tree. It's something, and there's no, as I look on the ground, there's no top. There's no branches with the top. There's no nothing. I don't know what happened to it. That's my story, and I'm going to be with this tree for a while and see if I can make up a story. Have fun with it. It's about play, and it's about fun, and it's using your imagination, and it's really tapping into our creative selves. And that also taps into that connection in nature. Maybe it was used for something by another creature in the woods. I don't know that. But it's giving ourselves time to process, like, why do things play out the way they do? So that's your invitation for today, is what's the story? Where did it come from? Why did something happen the way it did? It could be as small as an ant mound, and why it came up out of the sidewalk in front of you, and thinking about that, and where would that go, and where do they live, and where do they, what happens there, if you don't have a lot of woods around you like that. Or why did this this dandelion come up out of nowhere? Dandelions are notorious for that. Like, kind of freak me out, the middle of a concrete parking lot and there's a dandelion in the middle. Like, that's a story. So that's one tough little thing finding its way through. So have fun with it, play with it. I hope you have a good time. We're getting towards the end of the year, and but just know I will provide the teachers the channel to my YouTube channel information, and so I'll continue to make videos throughout the summer periodically. So you're welcome to subscribe at that point if you'd like. But I'm going to miss you guys as the summer wraps up. One of my last videos for you all going into this final week. So take care. Bart the Nature Guy. Peace out. See ya.